Hello everybody, it's Marialda here once again, and welcome back to an Ami box. Woohoo! Yes, we have another figure to open, and I've been waiting for this one. I've never gotten a box like this before from Ami. It's long, but it's skinny. It is still a 100 size box, but yeah, never got one this size. It looks kind of like it would be more for like posters or wall scrolls or something, but it is a figure. It's one of the cheap Animester figures. So I have brought out Lilith so we can compare. And you may remember with Lilith, originally when she first got shipped to me, USPS lost her. So I had to get a replacement from Ami. And with as long as this figure was taking to get here, I was starting to get those vibes again. But luckily it showed up. Yay! I also have purchased some batteries because this figure supposedly needs batteries, but then I've seen people say she comes with them. So who knows? We'll see. Let's go ahead and get her open, and so we can stop saying she and her and all that fun stuff and start calling her Liliana like we're supposed to. Yes. Come on, open. This is an awkward box to open. There we go. Ooh. We have a very pale Ami thank you card. So we got Amiko and Lilico, and they've got their hair tied up. They're in white dresses. And it's just like a white and gray background, very monochrome, but there is a little bit of color. Not my favorite card. On the back, we do have Amiko in a wedding dress. So yay. There's that. We'll put it off to the side. We'll tilt this down. And we'll remove some paper. And we see we have a Liliana. So let's go ahead and get her out. She fits reasonably well side to side, but there was extra space at the top and bottom, but that's okay. So there is Liliana and her packaging. It's nice and compact. It is quite tall because she is a tall figure, I guess. Just adjusting some stuff. So anyways, this is Liliana, or the Shokuyoku Majo, or the Desire Witch Liliana. She is an original character, 1/6 scale figure manufactured by Animester. She cost, pre-ordered at Ami 7,460 yen, or $53.27. I ordered her on June 8th of 2024. I wound up paying for her on June 24th of 2025. She shipped out on the 28th of June and got here today, finally, on the 7th of July. She took a couple days to ship. She sat in customs for like a week. And then once she got out of customs, she sat in Chicago for like 2 or 3 days. And then she finally shipped and got here today. I didn't write down when she released. I do know she's been out in China for quite a while. And then Ami just recently got her. But anyways, there is the front of her box. There's the side of her box. It says Animester Shiny Series Desire Witch Liliana. There's the back. You got the silhouette and all the information. And there's a side view of her. And it does say 18 plus. She is not cast off. And I've seen her name spelled with 2 N's, but it's only spelled with 1 N on the box. So that's what I'm going to try to remember to use in the video description and everything. But nice and tall. So let's go ahead and lay that down. We'll cut the box open. I guess we can tilt the camera down. It's a paperboard box. And mine only had, oddly, I thought it had 2 seals. It only has 1 seal. And that's the top of the box and plain boring bottom. I don't think I showed those yet. Go ahead and pull her out. There are some instructions down at the bottom of that box. Inside of the box is just a solid purple. There might be a little bit of design, but not really. But that's okay. It's a nice cheap figure. Doesn't need a super detailed box liner. So there is Liliana in her blister pack. Let's see what happens if we do a normal zoom. Close enough. Fits well enough. So if we look at the instructions, you sit her on her base and she's assembled. She has a cane. That is a separate piece. If we look on the back, her hair comes off and goes back on. She has two faces. And then she also has a key and the cane. They are magnetic. And there is a circuit board with a battery on the back of one of her faces. And if you tap the magnet to her forehead, the eyes light up or they go into that breathing mode. So that's why we need batteries. But anyways, there is Liliana from the front. There she is from the side. And from the booty shot, she's got a very big booty and very big boobies. There she is from the other side and back to the front. Okay, so by default she comes with the follow me eyes, chasing eyes face, which is also the one that lights up. She also has a plain painted face. And in my opinion, the plain painted face does not look very good. I don't think they did the eyes very well, so we will be defaulting to that one. Let's go ahead and lay her down. Cut some tape and get her open. Let's go ahead and tilt the camera down. Because once she's not standing up, she is not very tall when she's laying down. There we go. Should be able to pop her open now. So we'll look at her base first. It's reasonably small. It is a stylized, like, rocky base. Like she's in a cave somewhere. She has some very long metal pegs and tall plastic supports. There's also a hole for her cane to go into. On the bottom it's pink. It says Animester All Rights Reserved Copyright. So yeah, nice base compared to Lilith's plain black disc. We'll pull out the key next. The key, I feel, is very weak and poorly done. I mean, it's just a slab of plastic. I mean, it's got some detail to it, sculpting detail, but it's solid gray. They didn't paint it or anything, and they glued a magnet in the end. So if the cane is magnetic, this will just stay in the box. Speaking of her cane, go ahead and pull that out. So it's got like a ram's head skull on it, or a demon or whatever. It's got some horns, sculpted very nicely. It's got some fur around its neck and the back of the head and everything. And then it's like a old, rickety, scraggly, craggy stick that it's stuck on. There is a little peg on the bottom there. And I'm just going to do a little experiment. Magnets. How do they work? So I do believe this is magnetic. Next we'll pop out her plain face with the painted eyes. So there we go. So it looks like her eyes are kind of pointing up, looking up to the right, I guess. She is doing a little kind of frowny face. She does have a poofy painted bottom lip and some teeth. She's got her mouth line sculpted. Nice pointy nose. She's got long elf type ears, sculpted pretty well. A little bit of makeup on her eyes. And there's the back. We do see a peg on the back of her right ear. And then I believe the only thing left in the package is Liliana. So we'll unwrap her, pull the plastic baggie off of her. And then set her back down so we can clean up the mess. And I'm going to tilt the camera up. And we'll look at her now. So there is her default face with the follow me eyes. You can kind of see them following you as we kind of spin her around a little bit. And looking up and looking down. Right now they're pretty dark. Let me adjust the light a bit. So if I drop that down and make it more straight on, maybe we'll see some color. Yeah. So if you can get more straight on light, it's better. She does have blue eyes, and you can kind of make out the heart-shaped pupils. Other than that, the expression is the same as on the painted face. So that little frown with the pouty painted lip, nice nose, long ears. Her hair is kind of a dark blue or purple color. Almost, it looks black like in the front and where it's really shaded, but then on the back you can see the color coming out. She does have some horns. Monster type horns. She has a choker on. It's kind of a bronze or copper looking choker. Rests on her collarbone. She does have, like I said, very large and hanging weighty breasts. So you can definitely tell they are being supported by this outfit she is wearing. The outfit itself, again, it kind of looks kind of coppery at the tip. And then it shades to the tannish, dark brown color. Nice belly line and a belly button. Very high cut leg holes. So you definitely see lots of hip. You see her V-line. No camel toe or anything, but it is slightly lighter on her crotch. And then looking at her arms, she does have some sleeves that aren't attached to anything. There are little bats pulling them up and everything. Inside of the sleeves are red, and the outside is that same coppery, bronzy looking fabric. Very long sleeves. This, on her left side, she is kind of pinching and holding the sleeve up. Her fingernails are sculpted, and they have a little bit of gloss paint on them. And all the fingers are separated out. You can see her wrist, you can see her knuckles. On the other hand, again, all the fingers are separated out. Painted fingernails. She's got a bony wrist. You can see the tendons in her hand. And yeah, looks pretty good. And again, the large, heavy, sagging boobs. If we spin her around to the back, it's got a nice spine line sculpted in there. You can see her armpits and everything. And then she's got the booty. Yes, very squeezable booty, it looks like. A little bit of tight dress going down the crack. You got the cheek lines and everything. It's got some pretty long legs. Good knee sculpt on her. And as I turn her around and actually look at her instead of through the screen, there is a little bit of shine to her, but I don't think it's because she's cheap. I think it's mostly a skin tone plastic and not much paint. There is a little bit of shading like on the knees. She's got some toes, very well sculpted, and some toenails. And over here we do see her toes are even separate, at least most of them. If we go to the back, we do see the peg holes going through the bottom of her foot, the sole. And again, very well sculpted toes. Got some ankles and some heels and everything. Yeah, looks pretty dang good. I'm just seeing, believe it or not, she almost wants to stand on her own, even though she's just on her tiptoes, but she will not stand on her own. So I'm going to set her down and tilt the camera. And there's a piece of foam. Let's get her on the base. Should be relatively simple. May have to squeeze her legs together a bit. I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. This would be so much easier without a camera in the way. So yes, I do have to squeeze her legs a bit. But once you do, she fits on quite securely. The base is a little bit wobbly, so not perfectly smooth on the bottom. I do see there is a little bit of like crud there, so maybe some filing will take care of that, or you can just not worry about it. And we'll go and we'll peg her cane into her base, and then we'll try to get her hand on resting on it like it's supposed to. There we go. And Liliana is assembled. So let's put her on the turntable. I shouldn't have brought it forward. Let's push her back a little bit more. She is quite tall. And then we can do a spin. So yeah, again, this is a $50 figure. Slightly over, but you know, basically a $50 figure. And I think she looks really good. Obviously, she doesn't have a lot going on. Like her outfit, she's just wearing a little leotard and some sleeves. She's got some good assets to her, and what little paint there is done very well, I think. And she's got a very, very good body sculpt to her. Now let's do a 3x zoom. We'll bring her closer. We'll adjust the camera. Okay. And then let's see if we can kind of get her centered a little bit. Maybe back a little. There we go. That looks pretty centered. So before we do a spin, let's see if she does have batteries. So if we tap her forehead, I did see her eyes start glowing. Yes. So she does have some glowing eyes. And then if we tap it again, they should start the breathing effect. Should, being the key word. And I believe that the eyes shut off after a few minutes anyways. Come on. I wonder if maybe if we use the cane, if that will help. Well, that's a fail. Go ahead and put her cane back in for now. And after all that work I did getting her centered, I move her all around. But anyways, we shall spin her with her glowing eyes. And you can see the nice purple hair. And you can see just how wobbly she is. Some of that is the turntable, but she is pretty wobbly herself. And then if we, again, shaky cam adjust, we shall spin her chest region. Obviously, she does have some welded cleavage, which, when they're that big, I think we can live with that. There's her back. Back to the front. Then we'll tilt down and spin her waist region and see her booty shot. And we can see her tummy does stick out from her outfit a little bit. Nice crack showing there. And yes, just that squeezable looking booty. And then we'll tilt down again, zoom out a bit. Spin her legs. And like I said, she has some nice long legs. Yeah, looks really good all together. So let's adjust the camera a bit some more. And let me pause and come back because this video is a little long. Don't want to run out of storage. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and bring her closer. And we'll pop the hair off and swap her faces. At least we shall try. There we go. And we do see the little peg hole in her hair for the back of her ear. And now that we've got this face off, let's see if we can... There we go. You can kind of see it getting dimmer and then brighter. So that is the breathing effect. And then if you tap it again, it shuts off. So there is her eyes not glowing. If we spin around to the back, we do see she does have a single pre-installed battery. So I did not need to purchase these. If you want to, they are CR927 batteries. And you can get them for, a couple bucks on Amazon or wherever you buy batteries from. And just, so one tap turns them on solid. One more tap goes into the breathing. And it takes a little bit of time. And then one more tap shuts them off. And then we'll just put both faces up here. So yeah, you can see what I mean. I really don't care for the painted eyes. The following eyes look much better. But we gotta at least look at her with this face. So this is a pretty tight fit. Go ahead and put her hair back on. And there is a bit of a gap. I'm not gonna squeeze too hard. And we can just do a zoom spin of her face here. Yeah, that just looks awkward. So that face will go back into the box. And like I said, I'm not going to squeeze too hard, so there is a gap. And we'll do a normal zoom, move the camera back, adjust down, shove her back, get her all in frame, and then we shall do a spin like this. So yeah, Animester, you did a good job with this figure. Work on your levelness of your bases a little bit more, and I think that's all that you really need to do. Okay, let's go ahead and put her her following face back on. Very tight fit. That's why I didn't want to squeeze it on too tight. Come on. I gotta be careful. I don't want to push on her ears too much because they are a little bit flexible. Don't want to deform them. There we go. And then, just to verify, I do have her cane now. Yep, turns the eyes on. Should be breathing now. Maybe if I shut this light off. Yeah, Not the easiest to do. Let me try the key. There we go. Yeah, it's breathing. Let's go ahead and put her hair back on. So you probably just need some magnet. I don't think it needs to be the ones that she comes with or anything. I'm just putting the cane back on. Gotta like move her hand a bit. There is a little bit of flex to it. And then you just have her index finger resting on the skull. There we go. And then I just want to try again, see if we can get it to shut off. There it is. So it is a little bit tricky. You just have to get everything lined up just right to get the magnet to trigger the switch. And then you got to give it some time to see if it's actually doing anything. Come on. There it goes. I think. Yeah. Okay. So enough playing around. We'll leave her eyes breathing for the moment. Put her back on the turntable. And now we shall pull Lilith up. And yeah, you can definitely tell a size difference. So like I said, Lilith, she is the little succubus, I believe, and she is little. I think she's younger. I think Liliana is supposed to kind of be, you know, a mother figure to her or something. I don't know. It's all original character, so make up your own headcanon. But we'll spin. And we'll look at the booties. And then we'll spin and look at the side boobs. Lilith is definitely more stable. Liliana is very wibbly wobbly. That's okay. Turn the light back on. And we shall spin like this. And there we go. Let's go ahead and just zoom in a bit. So you can kind of do a face comparison if you want. And if you look at the eyes on both of them, you can kind of see them turning as we turn the figures around. Again, it helps if you have like a direct light on them. If you just have like an overhead light, the eyes do kind of fade into the shadows. That's okay. So anyways, we'll move Lilith back off and we shall close this video off by looking at Liliana. So this is the Desire Witch Liliana, or Shokuyoku Majo. I can't speak correctly. Anyways, Liliana is an original character. She is a 1/6 scale figure manufactured by Animester. I paid pre-ordered at AmiAmi 7,460 yen, or $53.27. EMS shipping to the US was 5,020 yen, or $35.85, so almost as much as the figure itself. And I don't know exactly when she released, but she released earlier, like May or April in China, and then AmiAmi got her in stock probably around sometime around the 24th of June 2025. So yeah, we've got a nice busty witch with horns and glowing eyes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I've got more figures on the way. I have Nekomata Miu, who I just paid for on Monday. I have a Sneaky Bunny that I ordered and paid for on Sunday. Both of those have not shipped yet. Damn AmiAmi. I also have Rindo. She's supposed to release on next Monday. So yeah, we have figures coming. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so it's been some time since I recorded the video, and I've let her sit for an hour with her eyes on just to see if they would shut off automatically on their own, because they are supposed to. I just don't know how long. And like I said, I've let her sit for an hour and the eyes did not shut off. So you may not want to just leave them on forever and ever and ever. I also read the instructions and everything. The sensor to turn her eyes on and off is right there between her eyebrows. And I found if I use the key that comes with it, as long as her hair fringe is on, I have nothing but problems getting it to switch between the on and the breathing state. I don't have problems turning it on or turning it off, but switching between on and breathing, I can't get it to work as long as the hair is on. So I have found with a stronger magnet, it switches nice and easy. So yeah, if you have problems, you can either take the fringe off to switch her eyes, or you can get a stronger magnet. So yay. I also saw on MSC someone was having issues getting the eyes to actually turn on and stay on. I did have that problem again, and usually it's when the strength of the magnet is not quite strong enough. It'll like turn on, but then as soon as you take the magnet away, it turns off. So yeah, you just have to get it just right. You could maybe try changing the battery. I don't know, I haven't tried that, but it is an option. So yay. Get a stronger magnet and maybe change the batteries and just fiddle around with things. So yay. And don't leave, make sure you turn the lights off. Like I said, they're supposed to automatically turn off, but I don't know how long it's going to sit there with her eyes on. Because, like I said, I left her for an hour and they were still on. Anyways, enough rambling. I will see you soon with other figures. Bye-bye.